Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday, as influencers would say. I'll just give everyone like 30 seconds to log on, and then we will start with, it's not a weekly update because I did go live Sunday. It will be a 5-day update. So hi everyone, thanks for joining. I'm always very punctual, starting at 8:30, and I've noticed everyone's very punctual with joining, so thank you. If you'd like to start asking questions in the box down the bottom, you can do that now, and then I'll go through them once I finish with the weekly update. Hi, I'm just going to pick some names. Geordie, Caitlin, keeping up with Aussie influencers. Thank you for joining. They're posting really good content, by the way. They're a new updates account, and I'm very much enjoying what they're posting. Love that. I was saying to them that we should go live together one week. That'd be good, where you can have like the split screen, but they would just have to have like a black screen because they're anonymous, but it would still be really fun. My sister Kayla, thank you for joining. All right, so I will just quickly explain my outfit, which is my husband's hoodie. So I try to wear different pajamas every single week, and I'm sort of running out. So yeah, this is my husband's hoodie this week. Okay, so the weekly update, I will start with Sophie Guidolin has posted a job ad. She's looking for like a sort of marketing, customer service sort of person, and she has put the job on Seek, and it's working for all three of her brands, and it is paying $47,000 a year, which has ruffled quite a few feathers. I did check the minimum wage for Queensland, and the minimum wage for a full-time role is $47,000 a year. And I did read the job description to make sure, not that I'm policing her, but I'm just interested, like, would I consider that a minimum position? And pretty much, yeah, like you can see that the jobs that she's wanting people to do for her are quite basic. It's not like supervising anybody or being in charge of anything. But also I found it interesting at the bottom, it said like experience in something, I don't even know what it was, would be preferred. And I thought, well, for a minimum wage job, how would you have experience in something? But I mean, that's just a minor detail. But yeah, she did an update saying that she got heaps of people applying for it, heaps of overqualified people that just really want to work for her, and they really believe in what she promotes with her brands. So yeah, she said that she's had plenty of people apply, and she will no longer be requiring more people to apply. Also with Sophie Guidolin, this week in the foreground of one of her stories, she had a notice from the New South Wales Police Force, I guess. And yeah, she didn't ever explain it, but a few people have messaged me. They thought maybe it's like a crime has happened in her area, and the police have gone around and like issued that letter to everybody in the area saying this is what happened. If you have any details, please let us know. Alternatively, some people think that maybe she has lodged a police report, or maybe it's like to do with her children. Not really sure, but yeah, we don't have details on that one yet, but maybe we will by next week. Second update for the week is Anna Paul's brand. Somebody asked me in the Close Friends Q&A, do I know what the brand is? I have a little bit of intel. Somebody told me that they were involved in the photo shoot for the brand and that it's skincare. So I think that would be amazing. I would be very interested to try the skincare, even though my sister, she has now sold Tribe Skincare, and I still absolutely adore the brand, but it's Anna Paul, and I really want to try her products. So hopefully she'll have some products that would complement the Tribe Skincare range that I love. And that is not a confirmed update, of course. That is just somebody messaging me saying that they were involved in the photo shoot. They could be making it up. I don't think they're making it up. I think that skincare would be a really good move for her. And she did say that it is unisex, her brand, so that would fit that profile. And also the other clues on her website, there's nothing else really. Like it couldn't be, doesn't look like it's going to be clothing or anything. So I think skincare would fit that website. So next update is Gretty Rose and Sammy Leo, Ashy Bines' ex-besties. They have announced that they are starting up a podcast. So I think that that's interesting in that Ashy Bines has always been very, she's done a lot of podcasts. She's currently got a podcast with her new best friend, Kiara. And I think that the fact that Gretty and Sammy are now doing a podcast together, I think that really makes it even more evident that, I know it sounds so high school, but it seems like Gretty has taken Sammy's side, because Sammy and Ashy have admitted that they are no longer friends. I don't think they've been friends for about 6 years now. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I remember about 6 years ago something happened and they barely even like saw each other again after that. But they sort of like pretended to still be friends for maybe like 5 years. It seems so crazy to pretend for so long, and now they're admitting that they're not friends since Ashy Bines' brand Hideaway bought out lip balms, which is, I guess, in direct competition with Sammy Leo's brand Breeze Balm. But yeah, Sammy and Gretty are releasing a podcast. Personally, I won't be listening. I'll wait and see if anyone does updates, like summaries and things, but I just can't imagine what they have to say. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe it will be really good and I will be watching it every week, but we'll see. Let me know in the comments what you think they might talk about. I just can't imagine. Maybe they'll talk about business, but then Gretty's new business, I guess, is that Monet hair care. So yeah, I'm not really sure what they'll be talking about. And another update is Emmylou. So there's been a bit of a underwear situation where she went on live and she had this new underwear set, like a bra, undies and garters and all the things. It's a lingerie set. And she was saying that it's from Honey Bridget. And apparently somebody in the background of the video said to her, it's not Bridget, it's Burdette. It's Honey Burdette. And she corrected herself. And then the Tattle, that forum, they found that it wasn't from Honey Burdette. It was in fact from AliExpress or Temu or Shein or something for $22. And yeah, it was posted on the Tattle forum, so I'm not sure if maybe Emmylou saw it there. I also posted about it on Close Friends. Maybe she saw it there, because then maybe about half an hour after that, she posted a story update saying that she said she's got emails from Honey Burdette, which is why she thought it was from Honey Burdette, but she got a sponsored ad on Facebook for this other brand. I can't remember what it was. It's just like a brand that's really small. So that now that she's got the ad, she's like, yeah, so, Facebook must know this is where I got it from. So if you want it, this is where it's from now. And everyone's like, well, why don't you just go check the tag? It just seemed really weird. And to also say she has emails from Honey Burdette, but she doesn't think it's from there anymore. She's not sure. It was just a very, very strange situation. So I'm not really sure what was going on there, but people were mad that she was lying, but, it's pretty harmless. It's just an underwear set. I don't think we need to be mad at her, but yeah, it's just a bit of a funny one, I thought, for the week. So that's really all that's probably been like the top stories I've been DM'd about for the last 5 days. I also thought I would address that when I did that Daily Mail interview the other week, and I wrote them these huge big answers and they asked me so many questions, and then the article was just not even about anything they asked me. It was so weird. I knew doing a Daily Mail interview that it could go I knew that they were going to roast me. I did say it actually in a live a few weeks ago before they released the article. I said they were probably going to roast me. But anyway, a lot of people were a bit triggered by the fact that the interview person the journalist asked me, what's my husband's name and what does he do? And like, what are my children's name and ages? And I said my children's names are Aria and Evie, and they're 3 and 1. And with my husband, I don't talk about him on social media. I moved on. And a lot of people were triggered, saying that it's awful that I respect my husband's privacy but not that of my children. So this was in the Tattle forums, as well as a lot of people messaging me personally and people commenting publicly on my post. I just wanted to clear up that it's not that I'm protecting his privacy. It's just that I don't put him on social media because he's not part of my social media life. Like, it's just a bit boring. Not that he's boring, but he's just not part of my social media life. Like, I have my personal TikTok that shows a lot of the girls. But anyway, it's not a secret. He is a mechanic. He is, how old is he? I'm 34. He's 38 maybe. I'm not really sure how old he is. And his name is Paul, which is very confusing because my name is Amber Paul, but his name is Paul. And if you listen to the Where's Your Head At podcast interview that I did, it's actually, there's a link in my bio on Instagram, the Where's Your Head At podcast. I do explain that, yeah, my name Amber Paul is not my real name. I chose that name because it's a play on words for Anna Paul, and also my husband's name is Paul. So that's why I chose that name. And this was back before I was doing influencer updates seriously. It was more, I was doing my TikTok page and it blew up. I was getting millions of views on daycare videos about my children, and I didn't want people to know my children's surname. So that's why I changed my social media surname. But this was like 2 years ago, and that TikTok account has now been deleted because TikTok deleted it for, they didn't tell me why, they didn't tell me the reason, but I now have a new TikTok account and I've just stuck with the name Amber Paul. So that's the explanation behind that, sorry. Anyway, long story. I will just go through the questions now. What's happening with the Kearns family? Well, that is probably the most asked question I'm getting at the moment. Everyone's noticing there's a few funny things. Apparently they're going to marriage counselling. This is all just what I'm hearing. There's no facts behind this. It's purely what people are saying to me. They're saying there's marriage counselling. They're saying there's cheating involved. But I've not seen any proof of this. It's all just hearsay. But usually where there's smoke, there's fire. So let's just see what happens with that one. Hot here in Turkey. Cool, someone's in Turkey. That sounds fun. Someone's saying they love my Woody. Any news on Alana Lister? She posted on her story a couple of weeks back. I haven't heard anything since she got out of the mental health facility, but yeah, what she posted seemed like she's happy, so that's really good. But yeah, we're all awaiting her to keep posting. Thoughts on Deni Todorovic? I can't remember. I think that's how you pronounce it. Thoughts are he is very, very interesting. He's a very interesting person to watch on social media. He's certainly not boring. He changes a lot. I feel his opinions on things are always changing. His personal identification is always changing. The way he presents himself in terms of like, he says like he's a fashion person and then he's this and then he's that. Like everything's always changing. He's just a very interesting person to keep up with, and I love that about him. And he is from Geelong, as am I. His parents, actually, their shop in Geelong West is below a financial planner's that I used to work at. So, yep. I have also met Deni, but it was just once, and it was at a rehearsal for a charity event. And he was, I think, not running it, like hosting the charity event. And yeah, I guess my thoughts on him are, yeah, the Trans Lives Matter merch situation is not okay. Like, yeah, it shouldn't have got to a point that it has gotten to where people weren't getting their orders and accusing him of stealing their money. Like, it's, yeah, been very mismanaged. The robbery of his storage cage, the story just doesn't seem to add up. I don't know the facts, but it's seeming a bit well-timed in terms of his using that as a defense for things. But yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot to keep up with, and I do enjoy his updates. Do you ever get influencers messaging you to set the record straight? Not really, but I would say that's because most of the time I'm only posting stuff that they're posting themselves. So it's not really stuff that needs to be set straight. I mean, a lot of influencers do message me saying, can you please take it down? But they don't. Yeah, I think I'm the first one to correct myself. Like if I get something wrong, I post up saying, actually got that wrong, this is that. Because I do get things wrong every now and then. But yeah, I don't really think influencers message me to set things straight. More on the Kearnses, more on Deni. What is going on with the Harris family? I don't know anything about the Harris family. I saw influencer T Oz, they were posting something about them. I think there's like pregnancy baiting or something, but yeah, I'm not up to date with them, sorry. You see Chloe and Beans announced her 10th baby pregnancy. Yes, so I did repost that to close friends. So Chloe and Beans, the influencer, a few weeks ago, she posted a troll message that she had received of somebody saying that she is disgusting and overweight and has cankles and all these horrible things. And I think it's about 2 or 3 weeks later, she's now announced that she is pregnant with her 10th baby. So I hope that person feels extra awful. But yeah, 10th baby, that is a lot. She also has 1 set of triplets and 1 set of twins, I think. So that's 5, and then must be 4 single births. And then this will be her 10th baby. Can we talk about the Outspoken girls and the influencers threatening them? Yeah, so Lily Brown, I did talk about this on Sunday's update. Lily Brown threatened the Outspoken girls for talking about the, I guess it's, what did they call it? An unpleasant smell? No, not unpleasant. An unusual smell that the Lily Brown's brand Chill had on the pajamas. So she did offer, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I just need to start this one again. So Chill pajamas, owned by Lily Brown, they went out to the customers and they had an unusual smell, and Lily Brown issued this email to customers about store credits. The Outspoken girls simply did an update. They just basically read from the statement, and then Lily Brown threatened them with defamation and slander. And I think that the Outspoken girls are really brave in that they're just like, nah, we're going to talk about it more. We're going to talk about the letters we're getting. We're talking about the emails we're getting. And yeah, they know that they're not doing anything wrong legally. So good on them. Sorry, it's just lots of double ups. That's why I just keep scrolling here. I think Gretty and Sammy's podcast will inevitably open up the can of worms about Ashy. It's the pink elephant in the room. That would be a really great opening podcast episode. Everybody would definitely tune into that. I would definitely tune into that. But at the same time, to make their opening episode about Ashy Bines is kind of a bit rude. But, I mean, it's just whatever they want to do, they'll do. I would just be really upset if I was Ashy, but whatever. Do you know any drama on Sofa and Sam? So that'd be Sofa Dofa and Sam Guggs. I don't know any drama, but Sam has done a recent TikTok video saying that she doesn't hate Sofa Dofa. They just aren't friends anymore. And I think that it's so great that she did that video, because everyone keeps asking, people are asking me every day, are they still friends? And I'm like, no, they're clearly not friends. They haven't said anything, but they're clearly not friends. So I can't even imagine how many messages she's getting about it. So I'm glad she just said, no, we're not friends anymore. She recently posted advertising Sofa's ex, Jordan. He's got a new brand and Sam was advertising it. So that made it very obvious to everybody that she's more friends with Jordan than she is with Sofa. And she said that she was friends with Jordan before she was friends with Sofa. Okay. Sorry, again, just the same questions. Some people, age is not important. Just ask Mariah Carey. Maybe somebody, oh yeah, people are laughing. They don't know how old my husband is. Yeah, I think that once you hit 30, maybe, you don't really know how old you are anymore. It sounds really weird, but maybe it's once you have kids and you're counting their years and their months and everything, and you just forget how old you are. I am 34, 80, yeah. I'm 34, but he's, yeah, something like that, 37 or 38. My husband does not want to be on socials either. People attack me over not mentioning him on mine either. People need to mind their own business. Yeah, well, it's not that my husband doesn't want to be. If you go to my personal TikTok, there will be photos of him. He's in some of my videos even. He's not a secret. Everybody's acting like I'm making him out to be this secret person, but he's just not. He's just a normal person, and there's nothing exciting to talk about. Do you know if Sophie Guidolin is still going out with that guy from Adelaide, or if they've broken up? I don't have an update, sorry. I heard this maybe 2 weeks ago now, so who knows? Things move fast in the influencer world. They may not be seeing each other, but maybe they are still. Not sure, sorry. Thoughts on Nikki Westcott's fiance being bankrupt? I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that Ollie Frost is personally bankrupt. I believe that his companies have gone into liquidation or administration, one of them, but he personally doesn't necessarily be bankrupt over that. But yeah, it's definitely not a good look for Nikki that her husband's companies aren't able to pay their debts. And I think that Nikki and Ollie have stopped posting about each other recently, and a few people have been asking, you know, have they broken up? I don't think they've broken up. I think that lawyers would probably be asking them not to post about each other. I think it's a really good move for Nikki's brands because she does have her own clothing brand and she also does a lot of sponsored content. So I think that she's just like keeping their relationship on the down low at the moment. But yeah, it's really not good that he has done this more than once now. What's their cafe like in Geelong? That would be Deni's parents. Deni's parents own a cafe in Geelong that is under my old workplace. I haven't actually been to the cafe because I stopped working there years ago and the cafe is less old, if that makes sense. But yeah, I do need to go try it. Maybe I'd bump into Deni. That'd be fun. Hopefully he doesn't hate me. When I bump into influencers, I get so nervous that they're going to hate me, but so far nothing bad has happened. Shani and Chloe, they don't seem to be friends anymore. That's true, actually. They haven't posted together in a very long time. I don't think it's that they're not friends. I think that they just have very different lives. So yeah, Chloe's life is very much like family focused and all the little kids and everything, whereas Shani is just keeping on the down low. The thing is, Shani doesn't post really. Like, her boyfriend is a DJ, so I think that they still party quite a bit. But I think that if she was to catch up with Chloe, they may not even post about it. They both seem like those sort of people now. Thoughts on Sammy Robinson? Well, my immediate thought is that somebody asked me if I could look like any influencer, like physically, who would it be? And I would definitely pick Sammy Robinson in her blonde era. I just think she is so, so stunning. My thoughts on her are that I think she's done an amazing job with 1 Mile, the clothing brand. And I think that her life just looks amazing, apart from like the constant breakups with Jordan Simi. But her life looks amazing, as in like her parents are rich and she has like her sisters and she seems to have gone to like a wealthy school and grown up in a lot of privilege. And I think that would be so fun. She's very lucky. And also, yeah, like she has made a career out of being hot, essentially. Like that is what got her all the attention in the first place. And then networking, of course, with like Cardia, Milan. She did a lot with her. And yeah, I just think running 1 Mile would be good. And her new boyfriend, she seems really happy with him. Apparently he's essentially moved into her house. So that seems really good for both of them. What's happening with the show that you were on? Forgot what it's called. The 100 maybe. Yeah, so I was on a show. I filmed it in January. It was called The 1% Club. And they aired 7 episodes. I was meant to be on episode 10, but they stopped airing it. I think we were told that they are going to still air the episodes, but this was months ago that they stopped. So I don't think they are going to air them as far as I'm aware, which is really annoying because we were there for 8 hours and it was a huge day and I was so excited to be on TV, but not going to happen. What's the cafe name? Someone will have to mention it here. I can't even remember what Deni's parents' cafe is called. Everybody just wants to talk about Deni. Every week in my lives, the questions are like 50% Deni, 25% Sophie Guidolin, and then 25% other people. Who is your favourite and least favourite influencer? So this changes regularly just based on what they're posting. At the moment, I am signed up to Ruby Tuesday Matthews exclusive content, I think that they call it, subscriber content, and I'm really enjoying that. Like she's talking about her relationship with Dodsey, she's talking about her kids and like just parenting and co-parenting with her ex, and she's been showing Roby samples and yeah, just lots of behind the scenes stuff that influencers don't usually talk about, and I've really been enjoying that. I'm really looking at Steph Pace, her content at the moment, because tonight actually, she's released her 2024 planners, and I just think her planners are so stunning, and I really just enjoy her I find her content very relaxing. She does just like cleaning videos on YouTube and stuff, which sounds so boring to most people, but I love that sort of stuff. So yeah, they're probably my favorites at the moment. Least favorites, the thing is I don't have least favorites because The ones that are creating a lot of headlines for controversial reasons, like Deni, for example, they're up there with my favourites. Like, I like the drama. I like when they're creating lots of things to talk about. And yeah, so least favourite would be just people I don't follow. Like, I suppose people ask me a lot about the young TikTokers, and I sort of just don't have an interest in them. Of course, I've got an interest in like Sophie Guidolin, and I mentioned Sam Guggs earlier, and I'm really liking Molly Cook lately, who's also quite young. But yeah, there's just so many young TikTokers, and people are like, oh, talk about this person more, talk about that person more, but that's just not what I'm here for. As I said, I'm 34, and I think that most of the people who watch my content are sort of around my age, and we don't really care that much about the new influencers. We like the original influencers. Funny. Who is Kate Zepp's baby daddy? So his name is Jordan Brennan. So if you Google him, you'll find about his history. So yeah, Kate keeps him off social media as well as her son, which I think is a really good idea given that Jordan has quite a colourful past. Kate does herself as well, but yeah, if you Google both of them, there's a lot to read. Somebody's saying here that Chloe and Beans keeps having children because it is content for her to post. I would seriously hope not. I would hope that people don't have kids purely for content. Who knows though, honestly. It would surprise me, but there's probably at least one influencer who has done that. Sarah's Day updates. So I guess yesterday or today she announced that House of Grom's content studio has now been completed, and she did like a little tour of that, so that's pretty exciting for her. She's also is releasing a physical like hard copy cookbook. I think it's called Sunny Side Up, and she released like the cover artwork. She was approving the artwork, and it's going to be like a coffee table style book. So personally, I'm not interested in cooking, but I can see that that's very on brand for her. And yeah, that's probably her updates at the moment. There is also like a little bit of rumours that she's pregnant, but I think that anytime she's not pregnant, there's rumours that she's pregnant. And I think that she does like dropping little hints regardless of whether she is or not. Any Tammy Hembro updates? I don't think so. Her TikTok, she's been posting a lot of TikToks lately, which I've really been enjoying. She posted one, I spoke about this last week actually. She posted one about being a single mum and how she doesn't have time to have a boyfriend or a relationship. She doesn't have time to text people, let alone meet up with people. And she's like, where would I meet someone? I'm not going to like meet someone at a bar. And I think my personal opinion is that it was a bit of a dig at the fact that Matt Poole was interviewed recently by like the Gold Coast Bulletin, and he was saying, you know, it's disappointing that Ollie Frost, his friend, has shut down the business, and Matt's therefore lost his $30,000 investment because he's a single dad and a retired athlete. And I think the fact that he said he's a single dad, and then he's announced his relationship recently, and then Tammy did a video saying why as a single mum she can't date. I don't know if it's connected, but maybe I'm reading into it too much, but I thought it was very interesting timing. Do you follow any US reality stars and influencers too? I don't. I can't actually think of any American people that I follow. I follow a lot of people from the UK, but yeah, not American. Is there anyone that I should be following? Where is Reese Hawkins lately? He lives in Bali. That's where he is. But he did post recently with Saskia, so maybe he was back visiting, but he's also very private about his movements, I think for good reason, because people like to judge him on where he is at all times because he has his son Stone living in America and then his children Wolf and Saskia living on the Gold Coast, so it's quite weird that he lives in Bali. Someone has to get out a calculator to work out how old they are. Dutch Minty has joined the chat. Dutch Minty, we miss you. Start posting more, please. did you see the Love Island influencers taking selfies in front of an apartment building and a resident lost it at them? I haven't seen the video, but I've been listening to the most recent Outspoken episode, like the podcast. I was listening to that today, and yeah, I do need to have a look at that. So their names were Taylor and Ruby, and they were taking selfies outside an apartment building, and one of the people who lived in it abused them, like verbally abused them, saying, "This is our house, get it off the internet, go away." Are you watching any Real House shows yet? I'm guessing that's Housewives. And yes, I've been watching the Real Housewives of... What's like that main one? Oh, what's the main one with like Kyle... Not Kyle Hilton. I don't know her name. Okay, I'm really bad at this. You know, Paris Hilton's auntie, Kyle, who's been seeing that woman and she's leaving her husband. I'm not sure. Kyle Richards, that's her name. I've been watching that one lately and I do like it, but it's kind of hard for me to get into when I haven't been watching it right from the start. And plus, I just prefer Australian influencers. Random question, but why did Roxy move overseas? So she claims it's because she likes the anonymity. Anonymity? You know what I mean? She likes being anonymous over in Singapore. And I think that's because her husband seems to have got a high-paying job in Singapore, whereas in Australia, it's a bit tricky for him to get a high-paying job, being that he went to prison for insider trading that he did before he met her in maybe 2007, 2008. So I think that he had potential to get a high-paying job, but he's been working for his dad in Tasmania, and it seems that now he's got a job in Singapore, and I think that she likes that they can all move over there together and live together because they were living apart in Australia. And yeah, I guess it's just try something new. So I've been really liking watching the content. It's really interesting seeing Singapore. Singapore is a very interesting country. It's got a lot of wealth. Oh, someone's saying that Dutch Minty actually is saying that she has been sent DMs that Emma Claire was at Centrelink. That doesn't surprise me, being that she has a fairly newborn baby. It could have been setting up a Medicare card. It could have been to do with her paid maternity leave. I don't necessarily think that means she's on job seeker, but who knows? Maybe she is. I don't know. I think she'll be making a comeback. I think when she gets pregnant again, she will make a comeback to social media, and I would love to see it. I would really love to see it. Sorry, I'm just reading again. Have you ever met Emmylou? Yes, I have met Emmylou. Years ago, she had a TV show and it was filmed at RMIT University, and you could get a free ticket to go and be part of the crowd. And the day that I went, she was interviewing Angry Dad, Mitch Orville and Dylan Orville. So we met the three Orvilles as well. I went with my sister, Kayla. And she honestly was so professional. She did not do a second take of anything. Like as soon as they were like 3, 2, 1, cameras on, she was like, hi. Like she was just so great and so bubbly, and you could tell she just loved what she was doing. I think that's why I also have a bit of a soft spot for her, because I have met her. When you meet influencers, you really realise that they are real people, firstly. And secondly, they've got a spark to them. They really do. Like they're charismatic people, and I think that's how they get to the position that they're in. Controversial, yes, but the thing is, if you were to report on every movement that any human did, there would be controversies. Like we all do things that are controversial. It's just that the whole world doesn't know about it. But also they do controversial things to keep themselves relevant. But yeah, it's definitely interesting meeting influencers. What happened to Wellweb and Chloe and Molly? Well, they had it up for sale a while ago, but I'd never heard anything after that. That's a good point. I don't really know if Wellweb did very good. I think that it was a bit backwards in that they released it as a website rather than an app, because they weren't allowed to do an app because of their previous app, Bloom. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened, sorry. I also think that it wasn't great that Wellweb was just purely video content. I think that it needed to be like mixed media. Maybe they should have done like a Patreon or something. I think that would have been more successful. Shani Grimman has nowhere to live, rental crisis. She got approved for a place and then it fell through. So she's putting all her stuff into storage and moving in with her mum. Wow, that is a huge update. I'm guessing that's a TikTok update. I will find that and post that after this live because that's really interesting. Oh, someone's saying they like Sophia Richie as a rich American. It's a lifestyle that they could live in. Yeah, I think that she would be like elite in terms of her wealth. But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I can connect with American celebrities, especially ones that big, but I can see why people love looking at her fashion and everything. Anna Paul is overrated. I don't get the hype. Okay, a few people do think this, but generally most people love her. I think the people love her that she's just so like family focused and her life just looks so fun and she looks so wealthy, but she seems so humble still. And yeah, I don't get what there is not to like about her. Like, I don't know, she just seems so lovely. Oh, the cafe name, Deni's parents, their cafe name is Darling West. That's really cool because Deni's always got like the Deni Darling sort of branding going on, and it's in Geelong West. So Darling West. That's cool. Anna's following is very young teens. Yeah, that is a concern, being that her source of income is OnlyFans, sex work, but she also doesn't promote that a lot. She does promote it a bit on Instagram, but definitely very rarely on TikTok. So I hope they're not following her for that reason. Why don't you talk much about scammer Simone Anderson, the New Zealand influencer? She stole over $250,000 of donations that were meant to go to a women's refuge. Please make this known. The reason I don't talk about that is because this is an updates account and that happened a long time ago. I think it was over a year ago maybe. And yeah, I just feel like everybody knew about it at the time and we move on. Like, it's horrible. Yeah, she did go to court about raising money or promising money to a charity and not making those donations, but apparently in the weeks leading up to court she did make the donations so that she could go to court and say, well, I have made them. There's all this ordeal about it. I don't really know enough about it either, but yeah, that's the gist of it. I think in the end she did make the donations. But yeah, it's old news. It's not an update. I can't be the only one wondering how Kate Sepp and her baby daddy are allowed custody of their kids. I think that there's no reason why they wouldn't be allowed custody of their kids. I mean, apart from obvious reasons that Jordan has been in prison. But yeah, I don't know how that works. I don't know anything about that, sorry. But I know that Kate seems like a really great parent and seems very devoted to her son. And also the system, the DHS system, does try to keep children with their parents. So, yeah, not sure about that one. Maybe they have things that they have to do, like reporting and stuff. Not sure. Molly and Leash deciding to keep their relationship off social media. Any thoughts as to why? Seems like it's changed ever since her Euro trip. Yeah, I think it's changed since her Euro trip as well. I think that they did break up temporarily and maybe they're back together, and I think maybe they're in that rocky stage where they're not really sure what's happening, so they're just keeping it off so that there's not the whole speculation every day, because I'm getting lots of messages about it. So again, I can't imagine how many they're getting about it, but something is not quite right there. It's funny how some people can have a huge TikTok following, then only have a few thousand on Instagram. I think it's just very different audiences. So Instagram is very much like a sort of 25 plus. 25 would be the younger side of Instagram, whereas TikTok is mainly 25 and under. So it's just different audiences. Thoughts around people sharing lingerie photos on socials when they have teenage children whose friends can easily view these pictures. I hadn't actually thought of that before, but yeah, that's interesting, being like the Emmylou thing that I mentioned earlier. I don't know, I'm in two minds about it, because why do we have to sexualize everything? Like, if someone is in a bikini or in lingerie, why do they have to be sexualized? But also at the same time, if you're a teenager and your mum is on social media and they're famous, it is quite, well, I imagine it would be quite awkward. But I think that that's a conversation that they need to have with their kids. And it would be, yeah, each situation would be different. That's a really hard question. I've got all these thoughts going in my brain. I'm like for it and against it. But that's what I do. I can never make up my mind, and people say that about me, that I sit on the fence with everything, and it's completely true in real life as well as on social media. I'm always devil's advocate or diplomatic. I think people say I'm diplomatic. Why is Sarah's day even popular? She's pretty boring. I think she's popular because she's been around for so long. So she's one of like the original fitness influencers with the ebook, and typically attractive and wealthy. So that's what people used to like following. That's how Ashy Bines got famous. That's how Tammy got famous. Obviously there's a lot more to it, but they all have the same sort of story where they started doing the fitness stuff. They just are hot, rich, ebooks, Kayla Itzinas. So yeah, I'd say that's why she's so popular. She's just got that original following that have grown up with her. Maria Fatul updates. She's absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, you have to follow her profile because she has an update every single day. Like every single day, she's got something else going on. Like she's released a new podcast. She's going on RuPaul Drag Race. She's doing this partnership, that partnership. She's got a radio show. Like every single day, she is doing something new. She's the new Abby Chatfield. She is just doing the most. I don't know how she fits it all in. What ended up being wrong with Sarah's Day's baby? She made a lot of fuss. Okay, so what she has told us about his medical condition is that it's a chromosome abnormality on the NIPT test, in which she had to find out the gender because she didn't want to find out the gender of the baby before he was born. And she had to find out the gender because the chromosome abnormality revealed the gender. And if you look at the NIPT test, out of all of the tests, there is one that is a chromosome abnormality, which has 2 X chromosomes and 1 Y chromosome instead of 1 X and 1 Y. And it is therefore a boy, but has an extra X chromosome. Something like that. But this syndrome is called Klinefelter syndrome. Klinefelter, I think it's called. But if you look up chromosome XXY, it will explain this condition. And yes, she does have a right to make a big fuss of it. It is a serious condition, but people look at her baby and say he looks normal, which, yes, he does look normal, but he does have a condition. It is correct. And it is a serious one. Sorry, I'm talking about it so succinctly just because I feel like it's an awkward thing to talk about. Like she hasn't explicitly said his condition, but she has said it through lots of information she's given. So I just feel bad talking about it, but also it comes up so often. Oh, everyone's saying Beverly Hills, Carl Richards. Sorry, well, I must be really behind with the questions. Can I do a podcast? No, sorry, I cannot do a podcast. I just, between doing this account and everything else in my real life, I just don't feel that I would have the time to make a podcast and like make it what I would want it to be. But I love the Outspoken podcast. They do such a good job. And I think that in between my lives and my posts, I've just got my little area that I want to stick to for now anyway. Sorry, I'm running out of time. I've only got a few minutes left. But yes, I've spoken way too much about each question. Nicest influencer is Laura Henshaw. I met her in Brighton. Somebody just said that, sorry. And I haven't met Laura Henshaw, but I do agree that she does seem like super, super, super nice. Someone's saying she's a virtue signal gal, and I do agree with that. I think that she's on board with every trend, and she wants to be such like a woke person and charitable person, and you know, she says that she's this and she's that, and it probably is true. I think that she does enjoy that, and she does want to make herself a better person, but it is a bit of virtue signalling. I don't know. It's a bit of a tricky one, because I do think that she genuinely does seem so nice. more people talking about Simone Anderson stealing $250,000 off a women's refuge. So that's interesting. Don't know why that one's coming up so much this week, but yeah, you can Google it if you are interested. Simone Anderson donations, women's refuge, I guess it would come up. Oh, somebody's saying that Sarah's Day had to give her baby CPR a couple of weeks ago. That's pretty hectic and really, really horrible. And I just can't even imagine that'd be so scary. But I do feel like there's always a hospital trip involved in Sarah's Day's vlogs. It's very, very strange. People are saying that Laura Henshaw is crying every day on her stories. I think that is her personality. Like, I think that she's a very empathetic person and she takes on a lot of feelings. And yeah, I just can't even imagine living like that. But she is always crying about something. Oh, someone said they don't get Martha Kalifatidis. I get her. She just seems so funny. I think she's a bit like Roxy Jasenko, where she's just like blunt and it's just funny to watch. But Martha does seem a lot nicer than Roxy. But yeah, I think that she's great. And the way she talks with her mum is just so funny. And I think that her mum sees the funny side. Like, it does seem quite mean if you don't understand it, but her mum sees the funny side. Oh, someone's asking about the Hogan twins. This is an example of my least favourite influencers. So like the Hogan twins, I'm guessing, I have heard of them. They are young TikTokers and they're the sort of influencers that I don't know anything about and I kind of don't want to. Not yet anyway. Updates on Chantelle Duncan. I haven't heard about her in a long time, actually. Not since she left Sweat and closed down a few of the HIIT gyms. So yeah, I'm not sure about that one, sorry. Will you do this again next year? Yes, I do plan to keep doing influencer updates next year at this stage. The Outspoken podcast religiously gives incorrect info. I don't believe they do. Like, they are journalists. They do research the things. I can't think off the top of my head of anything they've given that's incorrect, but Michaela, DM me after this. I'd like to know about that. Oh, they're saying about Ollie Frost's business and Anna Paul. But yeah, I'm not sure what would be incorrect there. Oh, I have caught up. All right, well, it has been 45 minutes, so I'm going to go. Oh, someone's asking, I'll just answer this one. Someone's asking about Jessie Lou, Revy Jane's sister. I have been getting that quite a bit lately as well. And the answer is I don't know. Like, a lot of the time, if there's questions coming through on lives or anything else, the reason why I'm not answering them is because I don't know the answer. And it's just really boring if I'm doing a Q&A and every second post is, sorry, don't know, sorry, don't know. Same with the lives. Like, quite a few of the answers tonight have been, sorry, I don't know. And that's just really boring. So that's why I try and skip them. Someone saying Martha Kalifatidis has been fat shaming her mum for content for around 3 to 4 years. That's not good. I don't like that, but what do you do? I guess people find it funny still, and her mum probably finds it funny too. So I guess we just have to assume that and just laugh about it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm triggered by fat shaming myself. That's probably the only thing I am triggered about. I hate when people do it. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and yeah, send me a DM if you want to talk about anything, and I will put this on YouTube, and I'll post the link after this, and then you can watch the start again if you missed it. And also, I am still posting every day to Close Friends, so if you'd like to sign up to Close Friends, it is just $20 for the entire of 2023, and it's just a one-time payment. And yeah, you'll get immediate access to all my daily stories and also the backlog of stories that I've posted this year. So I'll talk to you all soon. Thank you. Bye.